Hello Bahamas, it's tea time. I'm Karen.
And I'm Ian. Today we will be continuing some of our lost industries and more creative ways in which we as a Bahamian can propel ourselves in the 21st century.
Yes, so sit back, relax, grab your tea, and enjoy.
It's Tea Time Bahamas.
National Treasures, tell it with a t-shirt, print on demand. Available in all sizes and colors at Sellall Electronics, Carmichael Road. Telephone 361-7267 or 525-5076. Order yours today.
Welcome back to Tea Time. I'm Karen.
And I'm Ian.
We've been discussing for a few weeks our lost industries and how we can boost our economy at this time. Now, when I was thinking back at some of the things that we can bring back to the Bahamas, I thought about when mommy and daddy used to grind the corn. Now, people go into the food stores and they see yellow grits, but that's not the authentically made or grown corn. Sometimes you go to the takeaway and you say, I don't want white grits, I want the yellow. That's not the real corn. So how do you think we can bring that back? You think there's hope to bring that back? Because we don't even see corn in people's yard anymore. Everyone wants instant stuff. They don't want to grow their own, So how do you think we could implement something like that again?
The thing about it is, Karen, is this. We as a nation with our mindset, we have to know where we have been to know where we're headed. That's very important.
Yes, it is.
I grew up with my grandmother. And they like to call me an island boy. Growing up with your Grammy, most of the things that she would have done, you would have been right next to her. So she would have been showing you a lot of things.
Yes.
When they shook the corn and they grind the corn and made it fine, and that corn, that when they grew, it was so fine that when you cook that grits, that was so filling. You can taste the difference in the corn. When you eat it, it gave you substance because it was natural. It was organic. This was a fact. Mama them knew about farming in their backyards. They had fields. We had peanut fields and all here in the country.
You serious?
What?
Peanut?
Peanut. My grandmother used to grow peanuts. They had to call it a peanut farm.
Wow.
In the sand. They used to do the peanuts in the sand.
You serious?
I'm dead serious.
They the good old things,
They're the great
but
things.
But we just ignore it and we like instant stuff.
Karen,
we like artificial stuff. We like imported stuff.
Karen, look at it from this perspective. The information today is we have to know where we've been to know where we're headed.
True.
So the old people knew the way, but we have gone away from that. We knew about our teas. We had our lime tea, soursop tea,
pear leaf
tea. All of these different kind of teas you could have had. You had your Sarasi tea, which is just yuck right off your fence and you go boil them. And those things clean you out. Those bitters was good for you. Those bitters keep all kind of cold away from you. And these are the things as island people. This is the paradise that we've been given.
Of course.
Other from those metropolitan cities that don't have these trees all around, what we call the ecotourism. So we have vast lands with a lot of indigenous trees and stuff like that are actually healthy.
Yes.
And we need to go back to those things.
That's why these people are living to be 100.
Don't go there. I have an aunt today. Hi, Annie Millie. How are you?
Hi.
Annie Millie is 104 years old.
You serious?
An Exuma woman. And anybody that knows... From the soil. And anybody that knows Millie knows that she's still farming in the yard. And she still could beat you if she walked from here to the end of the corner. And she in a sound mind.
It's what you consume.
She said, son, you have to remember the soil. You got to grow your little things in the back of your yard. You don't have to do it all one time. A little at a time. You could finish the race.
I believe we, like God gave us these things. Healing is in plants, fruits, vegetables, whatever. He gave us the tools to help us while we're on earth. But then we go against that. We go and we get artificial stuff, but it's right in the soil. That's what I believe. It's right in the soil.
Karen, I'll tell you this, Karen. In light of everything that we see is going on in our nation or the globe, the Bahamas finds itself in a position where we have to then say, it's about Bahamians, it's about the Bahamas.
Yes.
And that comes first.
Yes.
We have to support the local businesses. We have to support the authentically Bahamian things. Like I love the wear that you're wearing right now. Look at it. It has the Bahamas, the George Prince on it. It's very beautiful.
Yes, Bahamian pride.
I must say thank you to Miss Bryce, the vendor on the beach. She said, I need you to wear the shirt.
That's lovely.
Because you love the Bahamian things. Look at the shirt. It says, it's better in the Bahamas. And to tell you the truth, Karen, it truly is.
It is. It's just that sometimes we don't believe it, but it is. Folks, on that note, we'll take a break. Don't touch that dial.
At Games and Things, Games and More, and Sell All, we carry a huge selection of electronics and appliances, laptops, smart televisions, cell phones, smartphones, tablets. We also have gaming consoles, video games, and small appliances. We are your Hurricane Supplies headquarters, and we carry battery-operated fans, inverters, generators, flashlights, and so much more. Beat the heat this summer with our family-sized pools and equipment. If you're thinking about starting your own business, we have popcorn, hot dog, ice cream, snow cone, and cotton candy machines, and so much more. So come on in and check us out. Games and Things, Marathon Road, telephone number 394-4705. Games and More, Southwest Plaza, 361-7265. Sell All Electronics and Appliances, Marshalls Plaza, Carmichael Road, 361-7267.
Welcome back to Tea Time. I'm Karen.
And I'm Ian. For you viewers that are tuned in and you missed the first half of the segment, we want to bring you up to speed. We were discussing corn. We were discussing how persons used to plant things back in the islands.
Yes.
And we need to get back to our roots, Karen.
Now, Ian, let's go under the sea. Let's see what we have in the Bahamas under the sea.
Well, Karen, it is funny that you would say something like that, because I think that, not just that I think, I know, this is certain, that the Bahamas has one of the richest marine life in the world.
I agree.
In the world.
I agree.
When you travel to the various different nations and you find that their waters, they have waters, some of the waters might be dark,
Yes.
the sands may be gray,
You can't see.
the fish, the sea life, there is none. They depleted it. They eat out the sea life. There is none. And then when I fly home into the Bahamas,
Oh, yeah.
and I have 700 islands, it's very important for us as a nation to also, once we're marketing the Bahamas, to say out there to the viewers and the persons that are watching, the Bahamas has 700 islands.
That's right. That's a blessing. That is a blessing.
We don't have just one island.
This is paradise.
This is
That's what we
paradise.
always say. Okay, and then so much species of fish we have under
The water.
the water. For example, the grouper. Where else can you find the grouper, the Nassau grouper?
Well, the Nassau group is only found here
Exactly.
in the Bahamas or uncharted waters like the Bahamas. That is conducive for that particular kind of fish. The other day, somebody sent me a video snapping. One was from Exuma, the other one from Long Island. And I saw a bluefin tuna.
A bluefin tuna.
Yes. While I was in Maine at one point in time, I don't know if you ever watched the show, it's called Deadliest Catch.
Yeah.
The tuna, they tell you the price of the tuna based on the fat that is abstracted from the
Yeah.
actual tuna. Then in the back of Inagua and places like Maguana, that ocean view, they said a certain time, those particular fishes just pass through the channels.
Wow. So, what about the industry? Are we taking advantage of our fishing industry? And we find a lot of people coming into our waters to try, get our stuff. It's a reason why. They know that we have very good quality. Our sea life is perfect. The type of species under there is perfect. They come and they try to get our crawfish, grouper, snapper, everything. So it's obvious that there's something under there that people want.
Billions of dollars is our water. Billions, literally. So I say to you is this. There are some nations that do not have these particular things as easy or accessible as we in the Bahamas do.
Yes.
When you think about exporting, like some of our people from the Spanish Wells, some people from Long Island, those particular places, and even Abaco, Morse Island,
Yes.
those persons export the fish life out of the country.
Oh, yes, I know for sure.
A container of lobster, let's say a 20-foot container that is sent from the Bahamas to the UK in a refrigerated container, that is millions of dollars.
Yep. But a lot of people don't know that they can provide other countries with fish, with food, yes.
But that is food. The thing about it is, if the world right now says there's no food, the Bahamians can go on the dock and throw out a line with the bait, and they can catch a fresh fish.
I believe we're going back to that,
Listen, I like to go, when I'm on an island or even when I'm right here sometime,
Mm-hmm.
me and a few of my friends, we just go out on the rock and we throw out our lines. And we catch fish. Simple and just as easy as that.
Yeah.
Some nations doesn't have that
They don't have that.
advantage
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
In the Bahamas, we have to understand the resources that we have in our country and take advantage of them. A lot of times we see the problems, but we need to start focusing on the solutions
That's
rather than
right.
the problems.
Right.
The reality of that is this. Just like I said to you with the bluefin tuna. Persons up in Maine and different things like that, once they check the fat,
Yeah.
that one bluefish tuna that I saw in the picture would have been worth somewhere between $50,000 and to $20,000 per fish.
Wow. 20. Say it again. Say it again. One more time.
$15,000 to $20,000 per fish. The big bluefin tuna.
Wow. That's unbelievable. We really have a lot under our sea. Our country itself
Rich.
It's a rich country.
Very
you know,
rich.
we shouldn't be suffering in any way because it's right there. Natural resources.
Very
right
rich.
there.
I think that we as a nation of people have to see our way forward.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is a blockage, you one can't do it. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Find 5 of your friends. Y'all get together and y'all pool in the resources to make it happen. No one man is an island. You know, we had that saying from we were young.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The reality is that when tough time come, that doesn't always last.
Right.
Just the resilient, tough people.
Yep.
So we have to get together as a people and say, you know what? Me buying this versus when the Chinese shop, they shopping as a conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
They're spending $1 million. Yeah, that's about 15 of those. They put up together the money and 15 of them they buy wholesale. They get the price cheaper because they're buying volume. Why aren't the Bahamian businesses or the Bahamian people thinking like that?
I think it's probably our culture. I don't know. We need to change that because we won't survive.
It has
we
to
really
change,
won't.
Karen.
It has to change. And when will it change?
Well, the mindset of the people have to change. You know, some people have a saying, when crisis come, that breeds opportunity.
That's
They say
right.
Crisis is opportunity.
Who said that? Dr. Miles Monroe.
Crisis is opportunity.
And that was a long time ago.
Yes, he
And
did.
some people still didn't listen. And now we're caught in this position where we have to now think of creative ways to boost our economy, to feed our families and all that. So we need to take heed to things and just try our best to do what we could do, you know?
The late Mr. Monroe had a vision in terms of what he foresee.
Mm-hmm.
The Bahamas has gifted people before their time. If the Bahamian people understand the ability that they have as a nation,
Mm-hmm.
we can be what we want to be. Because this is the place where God lies himself.
That's true. Well, you've been watching another episode of Tea Time, sponsored by Games and Things, Games and More, Sell All, Mommy's Johnny Cake, Doc's Pharmacy, and National Treasures Bahamas, who provided us with these beautiful cups once again. Take care.
It's tea time, Bahamas.
Now you look on my hat will do. Raise that money. Laugh, ya laugh. Laugh, ya laugh. Laugh, ya laugh. Ya, you got spend your money. Spend your money, never done. Spend your money.
At Games and Things Marathon Road, Games and More, the Southwest Plaza, Carmichael Road, or Sell All Electronics and Appliances, Marshall's Plaza, Carmichael Road.
What are you mixing, Mason?
Mommy's Johnny Cake. Very simple. All you need is water and butter. And there's chocolate syrup. Delicious.
What are you doing right now, buddy?
I'm racing the pines.
With what?
Butter.
Just process, buddy.
Dusting the pan with flour.
Hey, what are you doing, buddy?
Halfway putting the butter into the pan.
What are you doing now, buddy?
I'm putting them in the baker for 45 minutes.
Wow, your Johnny Cake finished, bro.
Whoever says it's not the right way how to take up to Johnny Cake, just tell them just learn.
Just learn. Oh, you're a pro now. You wanna try one? Tell me how it tastes.
Mommy, you're the best.
Welcome back to Tea Time. I'm Karen.
And I'm Ian.
And today we are continuing our discussion on lost industries. Previously, we spoke about Gladstone Farms and the eggs that we used to harvest. Now, Ian, can you tell us how we can start some of these industries that we lost, what it takes to start these industries?
Well, Karen, I think that the government has to take the stance where we invest more into the Bahamians.
Yes.
Not by a saying, but by an action. I continuously say this because this is what we need for our country to become better. This is how we become proactive.
Yes.
You know, when we think about those farms and the chicken, and we consume so much chicken.
Yes.
And we think about the importation of all of these chicken, and some of these chickens, like you said previously, you said that we don't know what all goes into these chickens. And then
Yes.
sometimes these chickens come from very far.
Yes.
I'm thinking about taking our chickens and putting it in the store, like the Abaco Big Bird. That's
Okay.
organic. I've tasted it. It's really, really, really
Yes,
good.
yes.
You know, and we have some other farmers around here doing their small portions of raising chickens and so forth. And this is the way we have to start to think about. We have to think about the future of our country. The future is the people. The people has to get more into the soil.
Right.
In getting back to the soil, we become more into trade and industries.
Yes. Okay. Also, we discussed products, Bahamian-made products. How can we go about putting them into the stores? How could we go about introducing it to the Bahamas and encouraging persons to purchase our Bahamian products?
Karen, I think that the mindset of the people has to first change. And then I think that the persons that are in the respective places,
Yes.
they're going to have to then take the challenge, and they have to take the responsibility to say that, you know, we're going to promote us as a people.
Right.
We have to have Bahamian pride. This is what's going to make us go over the edge in terms of ingenuity. And this is going to help us propel us into the 21st century.
Yes.
We have the wholesalers like the H.A. Pritchett's and Thompson Tradings and so
Yes.
forth. They're based on the BFS. They're based on promoting or advertising and selling foreign products.
Right.
But there's not a lot of, or if there is any, Bahamian products that those brands that those companies carry. So the government initiative has to come where the government says to those particular wholesalers or these particular brand persons that are bringing in brands.
Yes.
You have to carry at least 2 Bahamian brands, the same way you
I
take
agree.
any of the Pillsbury, the
I
Aunt
agree.
Jemimas or anything else.
Yes.
And you're going to have to market them into the stores the exact same way.
Yes.
And what the government is going to do, we're going to give you some level of tax breaks
Yes.
in order for you to every year for you to take these brands and actually push and market these brands.
Yes.
This is how we as a Bahamian and small snippet steps are going to become millionaires.
I have a friend, she decided to make her own facial products. And she's been using the foreign brand most of her time as a spa tech, or you call her esthetician.
Right.
And she decided, hey, I can do this myself. Now she finds herself where she cannot get into the big companies to put these products. But they have Estee Lauder, they have MAC, they have all the other products. But she has this product. I can assure you that it's much better. The ingredients, you can tell the quality of it. I use it personally. Flawless face. Can you see it?
What is the brand's name?
Diche Aperon. Yes.
I like the name. I like it.
Yes.
It sounds French.
And it's funny that when I spoke to some of my friends about it, I said, I'm going to try my friend's products. They were like, suppose it breaks out your skin. Suppose it breaks out my skin. But people are using bleaching cream.
Yeah.
They're using imported products that are messing up their skin, but they keep using it. So why can't we try our, fellow Bahamian product? And it's awesome. I must say, awesome.
Karen, the mentality of our people we think that foreign is necessarily better, and that's not the case. We have Bahamian brands that can stand next to any of those brands, and
beat
maybe
them.
even better.
Beat them.
The reality of the situation is that, you know, a lot of times when we think about brands and products and stuff like that, we see one product here, a product there, and we see these people do a photo op and said, okay, we're taking on the brands, but in actuality, they don't really do that.
No.
The hotels has to be accountable also. They're in a tourist industry driven by, in a Bahamian market.
Yes.
Where the Bahamians are the children of the soil. Yet they're not the ones benefiting other than going into a bellman, a maid, a waitress. How is it that we as a people don't have a product either on their breakfast tables or into the restaurants where they have to buy X amount of this? Cisco Bahamas is actually bringing about 65 to 70% of their products from the foreign bases coming in and going all the way into the hotels.
Wow.
We need the Bahamian products to be on these tables.
We need that.
We go into the restaurants. We're not hearing Bahamian music.
Listen, Ian, we're losing our culture bit by bit.
Well, if we lose our culture, we lose our people.
We will. The kids don't know. They don't like rake and scrape because it's not introduced in the schools. Rake and scrape. It isn't soca. It isn't rap. It isn't reggae. Our music is rake and scrape.
And it's ours.
It's ours. Okay? No other sound is like that. You can't even duplicate the sound of rake and scrape.
Karen, some government says that they cannot back Bahamian products. But any government that is serious about the development of its nation has to stand behind its products.
Yes.
And its people. You can go to, let's use Jamaica's reference. We discussed the last time in terms of going into the food stores and going into the restaurants.
Right.
Where you see most of those products that they sell, or the products they will sell you first, is Jamaican.
Yes.
This is the way we as a Bahamian country go forward. We have to then start to say to ourselves, there's something wrong with us if we don't appreciate ourselves.
Yes.
You know, we can't look at a brother and our sister from the Bahamas and say, you know, he's a Bahamian, I don't want to make them know any more money.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to become rich.
That's the syndrome.
You know, the mentality of that.
That's the syndrome.
The reality of it is, it's a Bahamian brand. It tastes good. If I can buy a foreign pot, which I'll never get to know some of them. I'm sure they don't know the Aunt Jemimas, they don't know the Pillsbury. But you could come close and say, I know the guy that owns Mommy Jamet.
Yes.
I know the person that actually owns Buy All or Sell All.
Yep.
Or Games and More. I know the person that owns Doc's Pharmacy. These are the businesses you have to promote. You have to then stand behind these businesses.
Yes.
And I think that if the government gives some incentives, because we've already given the hotels already concessions. We've given them concessions on concessions. Now, show me in our country where these hotels benefit so much and send so much of the money is out of the country. What are the Bahamian brands that they are purchasing on a daily basis? I didn't say Cisco Bahamas either.
Listen, y'all, it's not only Jamaica, you know. It's not only Jamaica that uses their... No, it's not only Jamaica. I can tell you another story. I know a lady who did her hair products from Bermuda. She has been trying to introduce it to other places like the Bahamas. Now I'm saying, miss, if we don't buy our own Bermuda, I'm not sure if they will, because if your maybe it's your packaging, it's raw material, no preservatives, nothing like that. At home in Bermuda, she runs out of her products. She has to keep, you know, restocking in the pharmacies, people buying it, flying off the shelf. I say something's wrong with us. Because the people in Bermuda buying the products there, Jamaicans buying their products there, their products in the store, something is wrong with the Bahamas. Don't you agree?
Karen, the persons travel to the country, not just for the sunshine and sea. They travel to our people, they travel for our food, and they travel for our music. Iconic people like Gino D, KB.
Yes.
This is our music. This is our food. This is our culture.
Yes.
It is more than just coming to a destination and going into a hotel. The tourists are they're asking and requesting, I want to feel the real Bahamian taste.
Exactly.
I want to feel the real Bahamian music. I want the real culture. Why do they come to the Bahamas? For the culture. My grandmother, I say mommy, we used to make chicken sauce, pig feet sauce, turkey sauce. We had stew fish, boiled fish, okra soup, dumpling soup, Johnny cake.
Yes.
Mommy's Johnny cake.
Potato
bread, cassava bread, and flour cake. But a lot of our heritage has been lost.
Yes.
And by that being said, we sell our kids on the foreign brands.
Yes.
We too are the blames. We're the blames.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So in order for us as a nation to propel ourselves, we have to get back to which we know.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Those soups and those sauce and those stews are very healthy for you.
They are.
You
This is
think
boiled.
about the saturated fat in those foods that we like. We like the fast food, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think about all of that, and we say, well, the grease, and how is it making us unhealthy?
Mm-hmm.
Those boils and stews are what we need. They're rich in substance.
And you can tell it is. Look at Mama and Papa. Mama and Papa used to live to be
101.
Exactly.
I have an aunt, she's about 104.
Mama and Papa stew fish, boiled fish. What else? Chicken sauce. That's what they live off. And then they
Chicken
go.
foot.
They go in the yard and pick the fruits.
And they're still farming from the
vegetables
ground.
and
They're
stuff.
still farming from the ground.
So they live. It's obvious. It's something to do with what you're consuming.
You know, I said to a friend of mine, Karen, I think about the storm that we had the other day, Dorian. I said that was an indication for us as a country, the importance of food.
Yes.
And the importance of preserving food. Right then and there, Karen, our perspective to going forward should have been 100%. Let's start dealing with food. Let's start dealing with us as a people. I remember when September 11 happened, the 9/11. There were no ships coming in. There were no ships going out. There were no planes landing. There were no planes going out. The food level in the country dropped drastically. And that said to me is this. We didn't have 2 weeks of food inside there. You can have the mega food store chains that we have in the country now. They have so much of food already stored inside their warehouses.
Yeah.
But what happens at a consuming nation like us that are buying market, that we buy, when there is nothing left in there, what do we do?
Yeah.
What do we do? We're not planting much trees. We're planting plenty palm trees. The coconut you could eat, the sea grapes you could eat, the mangoes you could eat.
Yeah.
But think about this, and I said this to a friend. Why don't we have a major facility? And the only thing we do to this facility is we store food as a government perspective. In case of any major world crisis, like we have in the coronavirus, we know that China is responsible for a lot of, majority of the shipping and production around the world. So when they can't, or we as a country said we're not taking that because we don't know how far this goes. They say it's on the money, so it could be on the food. So when they cut out certain things like that and say they're not doing that anymore, what do we do as a country then? We're not manufacturing then. So where do we get our food from? Do we have any food stored? Nope. In case if there is a crisis, the world needs the food. So if every country is buying the food, that means that there is a need for the food. That means that first come, first buy, and depending on who the nation is. So we as a country have to promote more Bahamian.
Yes.
We have to get into there and say, hey, we're going to store a food bank. We have a major food bank, and we're going to promote our Bahamian products. Because we had to preserve the tomatoes in the bottle. We had the peas, the pigeon peas preserved.
All that.
We had all of that kind of thing here. And so what do we do?
Boy, Ian, I really don't know. I have no clue. Well, that's it, folks. You've been watching Tea Time, brought to you by Sell All Electronics, Games and Things, Games and More, Doc's Pharmacy, National Treasures Bahamas, who provided us once again with these beautiful mugs, and Mammy's Johnny Cake.
So tune into our next episode. You don't want to miss it. It's tea time.
It's tea time.
Now you look on my hat was new. Raise that money. Laugh, ya laugh. Laugh, ya laugh. Laugh, ya laugh, ya. You got spend your money. Spend your money, never done. Spend your money.
At Games and Things Marathon Road, Games and More, the Southwest Plaza, Carmichael Road, or Sell All Electronics and Appliances, Marshall's Plaza, Carmichael Road.
National Treasures, tell it with a t-shirt, print on demand. Available in all sizes and colors at Sell All Electronics, Carmichael Road. Telephone 361-7267 or 525-5076. Order yours today.